Sekou Smith have you covered. We had our most complicated trade of the season so far. We should also mention this has not been finalized. So according to our very own Jared Greenberg, some of the players and picks involved are subject to change. What we do know is that the four teams that are involved, the Houston Rockets sent away their starting center from the past 4 seasons. Clint Capella, who's just 25 years young. The Timberwolves shipped 2018 first-team all-defense member Robert Covington to Houston. And the Rockets, well, they've been playing P.J. Tucker at center.
Oh, boy.
And it seems like
Jordan Bell, go be playing some center, Jordan Bell.
Small ball is now something that they have to rely upon. Let's welcome in Tom Penn to our show, former VP of basketball operations for the Portland Trailblazers. Okay, so when we look at Houston and what they did, it just seems logical that it's like, okay, another move is coming, right?
Totally crazy, right? This roster is so imbalanced. Have you seen one like this in any version of the NBA, including the modern NBA?
Maybe in the Drew League.
Yeah,
That's about it.
That's right.
That's where Houston's headed. They keep this up.
But they doubled down on yet another perimeter player, and he's on 3-year deal, 11, 12, 13 million. So they're locked into this team, and what's curious about it to me is we don't know if Mike D'Antoni's there long term, right? So you're not committed to this style of play from a coaching perspective. Look, Covington's a good player. He was one of the better gets on the trade market, but for this team, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on here. When you look at the landscape of the Western Conference, if you play the Clippers, you're still going to have to deal with Montrezl Harrell inside. If you play Denver in the playoffs, you're going to have to deal with the Joker. And if you play the Lakers, you got that guy Anthony Davis. He's pretty good, right, 3D?
No, he's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you would get rid of somebody like Clint Capella, who's averaging 14 points per game along with 14 rebounds. But then on top of that, he gives you shot protection at the rim. He's able to switch the pick and roll and move his feet on the perimeter. And he's on a below market value deal. Now, I know it's a big number, but 16 million, I think 17, 18, he doesn't make over 20 million on any time, any year of this deal. I think this was a great guy to have. 25 years old on a below market value deal. You keep Clint Capella and maybe you try to find another wing player at a lower value. But I don't really understand what Houston's doing right now. Maybe they have something else in the works. Maybe they're trying to get Tristan Thompson. I don't know. But right now, I'm a little bit dumbfounded by this trade by Daryl Morey because I don't think he's giving his team the best chance to win a championship.
Yeah, I think it has to be something else up their sleeve, guys. Because are we saying that they're going to put Jordan Bell because he had a little bit of experience in Golden State to play the 5, which we know that didn't work out well either. So if you're saying to yourself, if you really want to come out of the West or just compete in the West, there has to be another deal. Because the only 7-footer they have is Hartenstein off the bench, who plays sparing minutes now. You're saying you're going to go try to fight the Clippers, the Lakers, Denver, in the West with that short lineup. I don't see how you do it. And to your point, Clint Capella outside of Steven Adams probably your best pick guy from a 5 position to get James Harden and Russell Westbrook opening the pick and roll game. Now that's gone. Now you switch everything.
Well, you could trade Capella because you want to make a move, but you got to get another big back in some way. It's so imbalanced, and Covington's the prize for them. Look, he's a better wing defender than what they're going to have, and he's going to be able to knock down shots, which is what they do.
Right.
So it's just weirdly doubling down, like just audaciously on what they do.
2 teams we haven't heard mentioned in a lot of rumors or mentioned in any trade so far. The Lakers and the Clippers, are they part of the biggest storylines we should be following in these last 20 to 22 hours?
Yeah, for me, I think it's a 2-horse race in the West. They're in a shootout in Staples Center between the Lakers and the Clippers. Which one's going to make a tweak on the perimeter, maybe something that's a difference maker? And they're in different situations. The Clippers have this Mo Harkless contract to trade. It's $11 million. It's a 1-year deal. It's clean and easy. So they could bring back anything from $5 to $15 million in money. Well, that means they could get a Derrick Rose or they could get a Marcus Morris, whichever direction they would want to go. A couple of these guys that could help you in the playoffs. The Lakers have Kuzma that they're throwing out there, but Kuzma only makes $2 million because he's on that rookie scale.
Rookie deal,
So if you got Kuzma, you got to stack a bunch of other players together to get up to a number. So while Kuzma might be the most appealing player to get in a trade, so the Lakers have a great asset, the money's what matters here, and it's hard to get that money to match in a way that's going to work and see something that translates to a deal.
Yeah, I like Kuzma for the Lakers. I think they got to give this kid a chance to grow. If I'm the Lakers, I'm not making a move if I have to move Kuzma.
Yeah.
Maybe I wait to the buyout market,
Yep.
and I try to jump in around that point and maybe bring a veteran in, maybe a point guard, or maybe if Iguodala gets let go of Memphis and how that situation shapes out. But I like what Kuzma brings to the table, and the fact that he was hurt at the beginning of the year and he's now being forced to play a different role. He's used to getting more touches. That takes time to adjust to. So he's a young player in this league. I wouldn't give up on him. He's very versatile.
I agree with you. Shot maker under pressure, too. He's proven
in the playoffs, you need shot making.
A guy you mentioned a little bit earlier, Derrick Rose and the Detroit Pistons, they're in a situation where they're clearly sellers.
Yep.
Andre Drummond, Luke Kennard, and Rose, their top 3 scorers, have all been mentioned. So of those 3, who has the best deal and seems to be the one that's easiest to move?
I'd say it's Derrick Rose. So Derrick Rose, 2 years on his deal at $7 million change.
Right.
That's nothing in this day.
Right. Today's
NBA.
money,
It's like,
easy,
it's like
yeah.
the minimum.
Right.
And you see what he's averaging, 19. He's averaging 6 assists, shooting 50%. He's a very productive Derrick Rose, right?
Right.
The problem with Drummond is he's at mid-20s in the number of his salary, and he can opt out at the end of the year.
Right.
So he's a free agent.
Oh,
So
he's opting out, Tom.
He's opting out.
He's definitely opting out.
So you know he's opting out, and so you're trying a rental player there that doesn't make sense. So I have it as Derrick Rose as the prize that they're going to be able to get something of value back for.
Andre Iguodala has been a mess this whole season, that situation that is. I mean, 3-time champion, gets traded to Memphis, hasn't played. Memphis is adamant that they're going to move him, but that doesn't seem to be the case, as we have less than a day for that to happen. What's the most likely scenario with AI?
Look, there's 17 million problems here. It's an opportunity for Iguodala. That's what he makes, $17 million. It's really hard to park that kind of money on a trade. Everybody knows that if they don't trade him, they're going to buy him out. That's the problem. Memphis is trying to say they're not going to buy him out, so they have some leverage to do a deal. Come on, you guys know.
Yeah, right.
There's no way you take a veteran like this who's given this much to various teams. Now, he hasn't given this to Memphis, right? He hasn't even shown up. But his stature in the league, in the Players Association, multiple championships, he's a veteran that should be treated in a dignified way, and in today's world, that's what you do.
So, in being in that position before, would you, and if you were in Memphis situation, wouldn't you find something so you could get something for him versus waiting and then buying him out now you get nothing for him?
I would try, but I can't convince anybody to take that $17 million.
That's bigger, right?
And when you get around that number, then you're talking about bringing back multiple years, probably
2 or 3 guys, maybe.
2 or 3 guys.
Right.
It's a trickier thing to do. Plus,
right.
You can't just talk to everybody. You got to send Iguodala somewhere he wants to go.
He wants to go, exactly.
And that's like 3 or 4 teams.
Right.
He wants to go to one of the LA teams, or he might want to go to Milwaukee.
And Memphis is already a winner in this situation because when they took on Iggy's contract, I think if I'm correct, they got a draft pick because of that.
Yeah.
So they did win on the front end, and they're probably going to end up buying him out.
Right.
And that'll be the right thing to do. I know that'll make Dylan Brooks happy.
Another dynamic player for the Golden State Warriors, Iggy's former team, D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
All right, here's a guy who's rumored, whether it's Minnesota or going back to New York to play for the Knicks. Seems like a lot of teams interested, but the Golden State Warriors, again, saying, we're not interested in making this deal right now. What do you think's the most likely scenario with him?
So what are the Warriors about right now? Stay the course. Finish as one of the worst teams in the league and get yourself a high lottery pick as the reward. If they finish this they're going to finish with a 1 to 7 pick. It might be 1, it might be 2. Get back to D'Angelo Russell. He's got 4 years, $30 million a year on his deal. Oof. They're going to be doing all-star for all-star type trades in the summer. There's going to be a reshuffling of the deck in the summer. So a kid like D'Angelo, ascending asset who's been proven to be an all-star, if he's in the mix, they can look and pick and choose. And do they then also put that top pick on the move and end up getting veterans that are ready to complement Steph and Clay 2.0 when they come back healthy, and then they're right back in it. So I think they wait on Russell. There's no way to see a deal right now where they get that kind of value.
Certainly, a lot more of this to come on the NBA trade deadline show tomorrow with our friend Tom Penn. What do you call him again, Brendan?
The Cap Genie! The Cap Genie's in the building!
Jason Tatum, congrats to you, one of 9 first-time All-Stars this year. He's facing the Orlando Magic tonight. Boston Celtics currently sitting 3rd in the Eastern Conference. You're watching the warm-up presented by Ford.